Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Equality Illinois board member Cody Wise.
Good evening. We have to savor each success and celebrate the efforts that got us here. One of last year's extraordinary successes was the passage of Safe Schools Act signed by Governor Quinn into law on Pride Day. Thanks to this law, which specifically includes sexual orientation and gender identity as covered categories, every single school district and every school will have to protect its kids from bullying, violence, and harassment. This achievement was possible because of the extraordinary leadership and commitment of our advocates and champions at the Illinois Safe Schools Alliance, who led a coalition of more than 70 organizations to victory. Equality Illinois is honored to recognize their leadership with the 2011 Freedom Award. Please direct your attention to the screens.
The mission of the Illinois Safe Schools Alliance is to ensure the safety, health, and well-being of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning youth in Illinois schools.
The ongoing work of the Alliance is really to work inside communities across the state. We're in Peoria and Bloomington and Champaign and a number of different areas, certainly Chicago. And we work through our youth leadership. So the youth become engaged in their schools and in the wider community. They educate each other about sexual orientation and gender identities. They advocate with their principals and administrators to change policy to make the school safe on the basis of those issues, and they help to support the training of the teachers in the school. The need for the Alliance is really to address the climate of hate that exists in our Illinois schools, and it's been a long-standing problem. It's something that members of the Alliance have worked on since the mid-90s. And we find that the level of anti-gay and anti-transgender violence is still significant in our school communities. The level of suicide attempts and kids who actually have suicides is significant in our state.
There's never been a standard for school districts across Illinois to determine what is actually bullying, to then make sure that they intervene in that.
We started working on the anti-bullying legislation 12 years ago when we started an organization that came before the Illinois Safe Schools Alliance, the Coalition for Education on Sexual Orientation.
And it was such a hard journey. There were times that we were in different parts of the state getting heckled at, and one time teachers were standing on their chairs in their classroom and yelling at us and saying we were bringing AIDS into their school. One time a peer of ours had her car set on fire by a student. So what we went through to get to this moment, it seems easy now, but for the 12 years, it was really a hard battle.
We then worked with both the Chicago Public Schools and the Illinois State Board of Education, who already had sexual orientation, to add gender identity as a protected category to their own regulations so that legislators would not be able to balk at the fact that it was in the bill itself. If both of the major educational bodies in the state of Illinois were already protecting based on gender identity, it would sort of alleviate fears and concerns around having gender identity and expression as a protected category.
The Safe Schools Act is critical for youth in Illinois. If you've ever stepped foot in a school, you know that for many youth, particularly if you're different in any way, having a policy in place that protects you is very much part of the progress of that community.
And now that the act is in place, it clearly states to all schools that they must keep kids safe on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity.
Youth are coming into the world that we've created, and it is our responsibility, I think, to make it a little bit easier for them than it was for us. And I think that the legislators, through the work of coalitions, through the work of organizations like Equality Illinois and the Alliance, really got the message that this is how we keep students safe. This is at least the beginning of how we can keep them all safe.
As a partner to the Illinois Safe Schools Alliance, Equality Illinois was very important in our larger coalition. We had 70 organizations in that coalition. And Equality Illinois was one of the groups that really helped us think through strategically, how do we get this bill through the Illinois General Assembly? How do we talk to people all across the state? And Equality Illinois actively helped us with that, and that was extremely important for us.
Accepting the award on behalf of Illinois Safe School Alliance is Executive Director Shannon Sullivan by Bernard Schakowsky.